won. But, yeah. But, Skip, look, it's easy to want to play for your hometown team with the Lakers or your hometown team with the Boston Celtics.
Okay.
But everybody doesn't want to play for their hometown team because they don't have that aura, that mystique.
Okay, I got it. Okay, so now we go to the next set of quotes. And we got Russell Westbrook saying that LeBron is one of the best ever to play this game, obviously. And he's saying that his ability to kind of do everything on the floor allows me to be able to figure out where I fit in with all of the above.
Right.
Really? Are you sure about that? That's what he said, but you're not buying it and I'm not buying it. Because it just doesn't make sense because Russ only knows one speed and one gear, one way to attack. He is in attack mode every second of the night. So in the end, he says, there are many ways you can impact the game without having the ball in your hands. I've been able to do that for many years. I will figure it out. Time out. You've known. What are you talking about?
You always had the ball in your hand,
Okay,
Russ.
so in usage rate, Russell Westbrook, in the last 11 seasons that he's played, in 8 of those seasons, he was 1 or 2 in usage rate. 4 times he led the whole NBA in usage rate, and 4 other times he was second in the whole NBA in usage rate. Right? Okay, that's 8 of the last 11 seasons. He's just had the ball in his hands as much as anybody. Yet he's saying there are many ways you can impact the game without having the ball in your hands. Baloney. I'm sorry. It's not who it's not how he's built. You can't. And Vogel's saying we all have to sacrifice. No, he is who he is. And that first quote, I always want to stay true to who I am. He will stay. In the end, he will be true to Russell Westbrook.
Skip, there are very few guys that ever played this game that can impact the game without having the ball in their hands.
Very few.
You talk about a guy like Dennis Rodman.
I agree.
Could impact the game.
I
and
totally
he didn't even
agree.
need to score. He might have 25 rebounds with 0 points and 0 shot attempts.
And one reason I love, I'm going to say it one more time, Kevin Durant so much, best player on the planet, is because he can be so effective scoring the basketball on so few shots. It's just hard to fathom. It's hard to get it through your head how few times he needs to touch the ball and still get you 30 points.
That's correct.
Right?
That's correct.
Okay. Now we go to Frank Vogel's quote. He is saying that what I love the most about our group, and he's calling the group LeBron, AD, and Russ. What I love the most about our group is they're all about make the right play kind of players. Make the right play? What is Russ's biggest problem in key moments of big games? Not making the right play, taking the wrong shot.
Be it wrong or right.
Right? He's wildly out of control going to the basket, or he's jacking up threes. And I'm going to remind everybody, since Russ stepped on an NBA floor in all the 13 years that he's played, he has been simply the worst high-volume three-point shooter in the entire league. This is what you're going to have to cope with.
But, Skip, I would like to think, before this transaction went down, AD, LeBron, and Russ got together. They had a conversation.
It was reported that they did have conversations. So I don't know if they actually got together.
No, Skip, no. This ain't no Skip. This is not something we can discuss over the phone. I need to see you face to face. I need to see your body.
You were right about that, but I don't know that actually happened.
I'm going to need to see when I say, bro.
Although, wasn't it reported? Did they go to LeBron's house? I think they did. I think I read that.
Because last year, they were at LeBron's house. They were smoking cigars, and they was having a good time. But Skip, I think this is something that we got to sit down and we got to have a conversation about the sacrifices. LeBron's going to say, LeBron's like, you know what? I'm not going to be able to have the ball in my hand all the time, and I might not score 25. That might come down to 23, 22. AD's like, okay, I'm going to need my AD. I think their offense needs to run through AD. That's me personally. But Russ is going to have to understand, you're not a solo act anymore. You're a solo act in a great group now.
Okay. All right. So make the right play players, says Frank Vogel. Well, obviously LeBron is make the right play.
That's sometimes that's to his fault. Everybody says.
Anthony Davis is make the right play kind of player. I give you that. Russell Westbrook, 4 times has led this league in turnovers, and 4 more times has been second in this league in turnovers. That's all you need to know. That's not making the right play. That's making way too many wrong plays.
Yes,
right?
sometimes, a lot of times it's forced, Skip. I mean, he gets ahead and he gets up in the air and it's like, okay, I can't lay it up. Let me try to pass it up to somebody else. They're not ready for it. The ball goes out of bounds or it gets stolen. But, Skip, for me, this is not, look, and when it first started, when I first was like, man, this is not a thing. And I still don't believe it is a natural fit. I still don't believe it's the greatest of, like, the smoothest of fits, like Kevin Durant going to Golden State. That's a great fit.
It was.
Because the ball moves so much, nobody has the ball any length of time.
If you want to know the truth, Kevin Durant is a great fit wherever he goes. It's just easy for him to blend right in because he's not going to demand the basketball.
AD was a great fit for LeBron.
He was. I completely concur.
But when you take a guy, because AD is not going to have the ball, I got to get him the ball. So my job is to get him the ball in the right spot. Well, Russ can take the ball, can get the ball from one end of the court. Russ will grab the rebound.
Okay.
All right, y'all meet me at the other end or I'm going by myself. So that's the question, Skip. How does a guy that's so used, as you mentioned, the high usage rate, a guy that's used to having the ball that much, all of a sudden, when I've been 1-8 at worst, all of a sudden says, you know what? I'm cool with being the third option. Remember, they tried to get Carmelo. Carmelo had to miss half the season for him to come to the realization, damn, I'm not Nuggets Melo. I'm not Knicks Melo. They view me as a different Melo.
Correct.
How will Russ view that?
Okay. Which brings me to my final quote from Rob Pelinka, former player agent, now the GM.
He was Kobe's agent.
Yeah, Kobe's agent.
He's a lot of guys' agents.
A lot of agents. Okay. I'm gonna read a longer quote from him, and I think we're gonna put it up for you to follow along here, but he's talking about Russ here, and he says, he's one of the most liked, respected, and beloved players in the league by players he played with.
I agree with that.
He's an incredible leader. When you talk to teammates from the other storied franchises he played for, to a man, says Rob Pelinka, the input you get is he is one of the greatest teammates that player ever played with. That speaks to his character and his leadership. Those are qualities that are incredibly important to our team, says Rob Pelinka. I'm sorry, I don't believe it when it comes, number one, to Kevin Durant.
Okay.
I just don't believe that at this moment, Kevin loves and respects Russ. In some ways he does, but remember, he chose to leave because I know for a fact he finally said, I can't win with him as my primary decision maker, as my ball handler, my point guard. And remember what happened? Remember that game on February 11th of 2017? It was the first time they met, Russ still in Oklahoma City, Kevin in Golden State, and it was at Oklahoma City, and Golden State won 130 to 114, and KD had 34-9, but Russ went off and had 47. He had 47 that night.
And that's when they was barking at each other. I'm coming.
They were after each other, and it looked like they wanted to kill each other. Mostly Russ wanted to kill Kevin. And remember what happened when Kevin played his first finals game for Golden State, game number 1? Do you remember this? What did Russ do? He posted that he was watching Sister Act 2, not Sister Act 1, Sister Act 2. He's watching that just to make the point, I have no use for what he's doing with the Golden State Warriors.
Right.
I just don't know if that's being beloved. I'm not sure about
Skip,
that.
I think that, okay, let's take if Kevin Durant might feel a certain way, but it's hard for us to ignore that I believe that there are more teammates that love Russ and admire and respect how hard he plays and knows that he gives you.
I get that part of it. But in the end, I guess my point is, did they love playing with Russ? They might love him and respect his game and how hard he plays. But did Kevin love playing with Russ? I say no. Did James ultimately, and they were childhood friends, AAU friends, did James love playing with Russ? I'm going to say no.
But James had some issues that Russ didn't like also.
I got it. And you're right about that. Did Paul George, again, a Southern California kid just like Russ, did he love playing with Russ in Oklahoma City? In the end, I don't believe he loved playing with him.
Guess what Russ did for Paul George? got him third in the MVP voting.
Okay.
He scored more points than any point in time ever.
Okay, but this is a little over the top to say he's one of the most liked, respected, and beloved players.
I believe he is one of the most liked and respected.
Is he really an incredible leader of a basketball team? Does he really know how to push all the right buttons to get everybody involved and win championships?
Skip,
I haven't seen that.
Skip, you do realize the year that Kevin Durant left, Russ was the MVP. He averaged a triple-double. He got that team to the 4th seed. That's worth something, right? That's got to mean something, Skip.
Solo act. And he might be the greatest solo act in the history of this league. Seriously. Because I didn't think anybody could ever average a triple-double after Oscar did back in, what was it, 61, 62. 62 is when he finished, that triple-double season. Okay, I didn't think it was possible, and all this man has done is 4 out of 5 years. It's impossibly great. Solo great. Does that contribute to winning a championship? Well, we're about to find out, and I'm a big no on it. I will double down, no, especially after I heard all this.
Well, how about this here? Look at, okay, I'll put it to you. I'm going to do it to you like this here, Skip Bayless. We know Jay. Jay is one of the all-time great rappers, and a lot of people, he's their #1. But he could collab. So, hey, Russ going to collab with us. That's how we're going to look at it like that. He thinking he on the hook.
I personally think Wayne is the greatest. and he features a lot of people.
Exactly. But I'm just saying, so Wayne is a solo act. But he's on Drake. He's Nicki Minaj. He's on different. We can make it work.
Okay, but when they collab, as you say, with others, they are still the star of that show, right?
Okay. Yeah.
It's a little different with basketball skill. You got your bars, I got mine. They're only one ball.
Wayne is still the guy, right? We know that. We know that about him. This is going to be interesting how it plays out. All right, we'll get back to the Lakers. We need to talk about Hard Knocks. Which Cowboy star shined the brightest last night? Did anyone? Oh, who won the Summer League of the top 2 picks? Don't go